we talk about this seriously, is any part of you at the moment even considering the fact that Spurs are title contenders?
Look, a lot has to go our way in order for us to be title contenders. So the quick answer is not really, because throughout an entire season, so much has to go right. But if those things do go right for us, then absolutely, why not are we title contenders? The things that need to go in our way are, we need to Van der Ven, Romero, Maddison, Son, and Bissouma have to stay fit for the entire season. Mm-hmm. If one of them drop out...
Can happen.
Of course it can. That's 5 players. Yeah. If we get injuries to... I wouldn't wish injuries on any Spurs player, obviously, but I'd rather Perisic be injured than Bissouma, because he's intrinsic to everything good that happens at Tottenham as it stands. We need to have a big January window in order to strengthen and make sure we are prepared should injuries come.
Where do you think you should strengthen? Let's be honest, because this could genuinely happen with the way you're going at the moment, and there'll be loads of people saying, they've only played the bottom 4 and all this kind of stuff, but they've also had some tough games in there, I think, and I think they've done very well. They could get to Christmas and be in and around. They could be top 3. They could be top 2.
Yeah, even. if we're touching the top half of the table, the top of the table.
Yeah, so it gets to January.
Yeah, then we have to strengthen.
Yeah, where are you? Who are you buying? What are you doing?
It's about the biggest drop off in quality, and I would say that as at centre back. So Van der Ven and Romero are crucial. If it isn't them, then we've got Eric Dyer coming in, and I've got nothing but praise for Eric Dyer for the efforts and work that he's done for Tottenham Hotspur and England for over the last 10 years, but he isn't at the level that Van der Ven and Romero are at. So any kind of injury to those two sees a massive drop-off in quality, and we will struggle in that instance. Bissouma, you could say we have some cover in Bentancur when he comes back, and Højbjerg if he's still around at the second half of the season. But it's really that centre-back. And Maddison as well. If I've got to choose one, it's got to be centre-back.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because I think we will score goals regardless, but centre-back is the key.
Yeah, now that things are kicking on for especially Son, actually. I mean, I know Maddison's been instrumental, but actually it's getting that form back for Son Heung-min's been so big. But I know what you mean. Obviously it's a kind of catch-22, because if you lose Maddison, you might lose a bit of that form for Son. So it does. So do you think actually that now we're looking at it, do you think it's actually the depth that is the main issue? If we're talking about them as title contenders, that has to be the issue, right? Because when you look at the...
Are you talking about us as title contenders?
I mean, you look good.
Do we?
Well, the only... you just wanted me to say that,
I just want to hear it from someone else, because I think we do.
The one thing that is making me think there might be a chance, I'm not putting you in the mix, to be honest with you, right now, it's too early, but you don't have any other competitions, and you're out of the League Cup.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you really are. There's nothing else you need to worry about.
FA Cup.
You've probably got... Yeah, all right. But let's say, as I say, if you get to January...
Double?
The double, yeah.
Could we? Why not?
Why not?
We could. I mean, obviously not. We're not going to do that. I mean, there's absolutely no chance we can even win the league, but mad things happen in football, and that's what you got to believe.
They do. Look, mad doubles come out of
nowhere. Yeah. Suddenly, I haven't won a league title since '61, and now I'm talking about a double. Look, Tottenham have no right to be where they are right now. We lost Harry Kane, the best footballer all of us, all Spurs fans have seen with their own eyes. New manager, massive influx of new players. We have no right to be where we are. We're just going to enjoy it. We're not in a title race. We're simply saying that if all the cards land where they should, then why not?
Imagine. No,
but obviously they're not going to. They're not going to, because that's not the way football lasts. But if they did, then we could.
That's the thing. I think you're right. If everything lands your way, which makes it sound ridiculous, but I know what you mean. I think they could do it.
We need a lot of luck.
I imagine there has to be someone filming Harry Kane. That moment,
he's got to be guided.
That moment, Kulusevski scores the winning goal to take you to the league title. It's just there, like
I'm sort of sitting there, and I'm thinking, obviously he's not. He's gone to Bayern Munich, but you got to be honest. The German league is beneath Harry Kane. I know I might upset a lot of people, but I think he's too good for that league.
Well, he's proving it. Really, isn't he? I mean, he's on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, and obviously, of course, he would be. The reason why he left Tottenham, because he genuinely looked at us and thought, I've got no chance of winning anything here. I have to go, and he's done us a favour by going to Bayern Munich, because he could have run his contract down. So kudos to that, and I rate him for that. But he must be looking and going, damn. And you heard about the Patrick Ewing theory by Bill Simmons, who said that, you know, a player who is essentially the stalwart and drags the team through but never really achieves success leaves and creates a vacuum for the other players. That's what you've seen at Spurs. So I don't know what we'd look like with Harry Kane. We'd be better, a better footballing side, and we would score more goals. And I think a lot more people would take us as legitimate title challengers if Harry Kane was there. But would we be seeing the same style of football and the energy around the football club if he was?
It's such an interesting question. Also find it really ironic that, because I always felt with Harry Kane that he was there thinking for a long time, like, I probably need to get out of this, need to go and try and win some,
he's wanted
some trophies.
Yeah,
exactly.
Course, yeah.
But then it was kind of like, but we'll bring in Mourinho. And he's like, oh, right, well, he's won a lot, so yeah, all right, I'll stay for that. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I'll bring in Conte.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right, yeah, I'll give him a go. And then finally they've been like, oh, yeah, Postecoglou's coming in? And he's been like, no, I'm off, lads.
Yeah, so
and now it's really good.
Postecoglou coming in was like 4 a.m. on a Saturday, and your mate's trying to keep you to stay. Stay out a bit longer. And he's like, I've got to go home. I just need to go. I need somewhere that's safe. Bayern Munich sounds safe.
Ozzy Jans turns up. Hello, it's like, loving it.
Yeah. That's what I would say. We sold him so many dreams, and eventually he got tired of it, and he didn't believe in that one. Fair enough, but the proof is in the pudding.
It is indeed. Now, when we look at this right now as well, we're in this international break. Spurs top of the table, and have had a very good start to the season. It does remind me of last season with Arsenal, because you've got to remember that's the team that finished fifth the season before, and no one was really expecting at all a title push. It's kind of hard to remember that now, but they weren't seen.
I remember it
before.
I remember it vividly.
I'm sure you do, yeah. Before that season as title contenders at all, and then they had that amazing start to the season. In your eyes, where do you compare the way that Spurs have started to the way that Arsenal team have started?
It's difficult because as a Spurs fan, you're looking at Arsenal, and to me, like from an outside perspective, with my Spurs hat on, I was looking at them going, oh my God, they look really good. How long can this go on for? Please lose a game. And then they lost against Man United 3-1, and I was like, yes, now it's going to fall apart. And it didn't, and they just kept going and kept going. So when you're scared of something happening, as I was scared of Arsenal winning the league last season, you don't see the frailties in the system that every tactic has, and every manager has, and every group of players has. I just saw a team that couldn't stop winning. As a Spurs fan, I'm looking at it and going, well, I can see where things can go wrong because I'm inevitably expecting it to go wrong. So you're better to answer that than I am. My feeling is Arsenal probably looked a little bit further along last season than Spurs are right now, and I would say that because they were £500 million deep in transfers. Arteta had been there for 4 years.
Yeah.
Everything, every rule and law and idea that he could instill in those players, he'd already done. So for Postecoglou even to be talked about in the same level, and Spurs to be talked about that they might be at the same level, is madness. Yeah,
it shows his achievement so far, if you want. But I think when you look at the two squads, Jesus had a huge impact, such a big impact that obviously eventually when he got injured, that was a bit of a problem for them. Nketiah did do well, and actually, if we're talking about injuries that affected that season for Arsenal, it was Saliba at the end really that took them off the rails. But I'd argue potentially that Maddison has had a bigger impact than maybe Jesus had on that Arsenal team the season before. So that's got to be exciting as a Spurs fan. I think that Van der Ven has also been brilliant, and almost, I'm not comparing him to Saliba at all in terms of ability, but what I'm saying is, he's had that same impact at the back that Arsenal needed.
I think you can't compare Van der Ven and Saliba at this stage because Saliba came to... Arsenal signed him a long time ago and he was playing...
Yeah, and he went away.
He went away, but his reputation was there and is intact, and Arsenal fans were clamouring for him to bring him back, and for good reason, because he came in and he was incredible and probably is in the top 2 best centre-backs in the league.
With who? Van der Ven?
But look, I mean, in my brain when I was thinking that, I was still thinking Van Dijk, and I was thinking John Stones and Saliba, between those three, and Diaz, right? But he's up there, certainly in the conversation. I think Van der Ven has come from Wolfsburg. He's a Dutch centre-back. He's just breaking in, or been in around the Dutch team. He's not like steadfast in there. He's come with very little reputation, and he's played 8 games for Tottenham Hotspur. I think we'll be talking about Van der Ven in a different way a year from now than we do right now. And they will be comparing him with Saliba, Stones and Diaz. I think he's that good.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.